Most savage comment about your art from your kid. I can start. Well, mine just says, "Mom, you're not an artist."
Dang.
And "Mommy, artist is cringy."
Oh, the cringe. Yeah.
Anyone? Can't think of any? That's okay.
Everest one time said, "Are you wearing that?"
Perfect. Perfect. What's up, guys? We're dreamers, we're moms, and welcome to the Mommy Artist Podcast. Now let's get creatively unhinged. Some people walk into your life and change it forever. My next guests definitely fit into this category. They inspire me more than they know and act as creative muses to myself and many others. They are literally two of the coolest, kindest, and most talented people I have ever met. The first is Meredith, who is one of my dearest friends, a painter, a mother, and my personal creative and spiritual guru. Her art feels like ritual, grounded in the land and guided by the light, her light. Meredith is inspired by the rugged beauty of the American Southwest and the natural rhythms of her family's ranch. Her work explores the quiet resilience of arid terrain and the presence of animals that inhabit it. She holds an MFA in painting from the San Francisco Art Institute and BFA degrees in both painting and photography from Texas State University. Her work is exhibited in art galleries all around Texas. I always call her Magic Mare because just being around her feels magical. I can't even believe it, but I also have Michelle here with us today. Michelle is Meredith's sister-in-law, and she, much like the jewelry she makes, is rare, raw, and the real deal. Not to mention a fashion icon. She is a self-taught silversmith, the founder of Iron Lamb Jewelry, a brand that was born in Texas and shaped by vintage aesthetics and Southwestern roots. Iron Lamb has been carried by Free People, Tacovas, Huckberry, and the iconic Feathers Vintage in Austin, Texas. Michelle has two wild ones at home and hopes to inspire individuality, expression, and a deeper connection to what we wear. Together, these two represent everything I love about women who create. They're raising babies, making soul-enriching art, and finding ways to stay connected to something bigger: nature, ritual, and their own damn instincts. Welcome, Meredith and Michelle.
Woo, thank you. Hi.
Thank
That
you
was
for
so
having
sweet.
us.
Oh my goodness.
gosh.
Hi.
I didn't expect to get so emotional, but
you did it.
no doubt.
Well, we've been through a lot together.
I know. So you guys, Meredith has been my friend for, I don't know, almost 10 years. And I mean, it's been like such a slow burn relationship in the best way. And that's just made it so much more authentic. And I'm just so grateful for her. And honestly, she is like the one of the reasons I like kind of became creative again, because it was like this, like when you see it in someone else, you're like, oh my gosh, that's what I've been missing. That's who I needed to connect to. Our kids are friends. So it's like this like match made in heaven. So that's how I know Meredith. And then through Meredith, I met Michelle.
Hey, girl.
And like literally first, I knew her just by stalking her Instagram because
As we've all done.
it was the time when you were doing your like monthly baby photos. And
Oh.
they were epic. I probably showed 20 people. Like just strange. And I don't know.
I
if
went
you-
through a phase.
I-
about those. Yeah.
They were so cute. It was like they were
thank
like,
you.
you know, when they were sleeping and you do the whole like background behind. Oh my gosh, it was adorable.
That was so fun.
You just moved full time to the Hill Country.
Last night.
Wimberley, Texas. Yes, last night.
Last night was the first night at our house. Yes. So it's
Thank you.
a journey.
Thank you for being here. Like that even means
Of
more to
course.
me. So are you
Would never
excited
say.
about moving to the Hill Country, feeling inspired by you know, where you're living
Yes.
now?
Yes, it's been a long time coming. We've always loved the Austin area. I met my husband at Texas State many years ago, and
Not that many.
we kind of feels like a while ago, but yeah, we bounced around to a few different places, but we're finally setting up roots here. And we just got done renovating the house, and so I haven't actually picked up a paintbrush aside from some small watercolor commissions. I haven't picked up a paintbrush in months. And so I'm itching to get back in there. And I actually have perfect first project. I got hired to do a commission for the new City Hall building in Hutchins. It's like just south of Dallas. So that's going to be my I'm going to start on it next week. My kids are in camp. So I'm going to launch in, and it feels like the perfect first thing to break in my new studio.
Yes, get acquainted
but
in
yeah,
there. That's amazing. I'm so happy for you.
I'm very excited about that one. But yeah, this is going to be a new chapter. I'm very inspired by the hill country. I mean, they're everywhere you look. The beauty. I love the color palette. I mean, I've always been drawn to kind of more desert vibes with my landscapes and stuff, but it's everywhere I go. I'm just like, oh, I can't wait to paint this, paint this, paint this.
Oh, no. And then, but you've just been busy with mom.
So I'm just racking up all these ideas.
Yep.
And so I've got it all in my memory bank, and I've been writing it down, and I'm just can't wait to execute it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me a couple more months and I'll start.
I know.
I'll start.
I'm excited. So yeah, we'll definitely be able to find your art out there soon. But yes, sometimes you have to put it on hold, and sometimes
it's hard. Yeah, when the ideas are flowing and you can't paint or you can't create, it's hard because you don't want to. We've talked about this. I had shared with her one of my favorite books, The Creative Act by Rick Rubin.
Literally my favorite book.
Oh, I put
it on Hannah's bedside.
It is the best, and you can kind of take it in small doses because it's like short chapters. But we've talked about that chapter about when ideas come into your head and then you don't as a creative, and then if you don't act on them, they might materialize in another artist. And I've had that happen before where it's like I wasn't able to execute an idea I was excited about, and then it goes away.
That's so funny how that happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm hoping I can.
No, you definitely.
I'm hoping they don't pass, and I can.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, you got this. Okay, and another perk is how far away do you live from Michelle?
Come get me, Mama.
Four tiny minutes.
Oh my gosh,
we're in the same neighborhood.
That's so special.
I can walk to your house in 11 minutes.
She's tested it.
I tested it.
Are you so excited?
Speed walking.
Is this your dream?
I'm so excited. It's a dream.
Come true.
Our kids have a buggy. Ours do. And so we put a little yellow flag on the back and let them loose. And they just go visit their cousins.
That's amazing.
Everyone in the neighborhood, they see them coming.
Yeah. And they're just out in nature, and they're playing with rocks and chasing each other and doing things.
Oh yeah.
Texans should do out in the country.
Yes.
I love that.
My brother and I, her husband, my brother, we grew up in Magnolia, Texas, but we didn't move out there till I was in second grade. He was in fourth, and my mom always instilled nature in us. I mean, that was always it was a huge part of our upbringing. And it's been a huge part of
as
my
well as
art inspiration. Absolutely. But I'm glad that of course, my kids have always been surrounded by nature, but I feel like being out here, we bought 6 acres. So it's like they've got some place to roam now and really explore that. The rock collection has gotten pretty extensive with my son because there's rocks everywhere in the hill country. So they're taking over already. But
that's going to be a passion. That's definitely something that's going to lead to something.
Currently, he wants to be a geologist.
I was about to say, he's definitely going to be an archaeologist.
I'm marking this now. We'll see if that sticks. But
okay, so speaking of you growing up in an artistic home, well, you said nature was a big part of your.
Yeah.
So what was art also?
Oh, if my parents had art background,
were your parents artistic?
Not particularly. My mom's definitely creative. She was always very supportive of anything creative that my brother and I ever started to head towards. She'd be like, "Oh, let's learn about that. Let's explore that further." And she was always buying us books, to help us along. And so having that support was huge. My dad did paint. He had a little stint of oil painting.
Shockingly, really good.
Them hanging at our ranch house. He did them when he was 9 or 10, and they're beautiful. And I can't believe that he was just oh yeah, I picked that up for a couple years. When he was, I think he was right around 10, which is crazy to me because he's one of those guys though that pretty much anything he picks up,
I was going to say,
he's
can
a
kind of
Renaissance
do
man.
anything.
He can do anything. He's played every instrument. He's tried everything. Piano. He's just incredible.
So he's definitely a creative.
So I think, and he has this drive and this passion to follow through with hobbies. I saw that. Every morning I would wake up to hearing him playing the piano below my room. And so I was constantly inspired by
And
him
you're just
and by my mom. I mean, just in countless ways. She speaks in creativity. That's her dialogue is very abstract,
I
and
love that.
she speaks in color. Like it's,
Mhm.
I don't know. She's
Mhm.
always just, her presence in my life was creativity to me. What about you? Like with
Yes. My family, we always had music playing in the house. It was very like rich in that way, but
Mhm.
I wouldn't say creative as far as like the arts are concerned.
Mhm.
I was just a little bit more eccentric. I've always been kind of the eccentric little sister of four kids, and just wanted to wear what I wanted to do what I wanted, and just I don't know. I guess that manifested in this like love of jewelry and art and accessories and just overindulgence in like clothing. I
Mhm.
don't know. It's
Mhm.
kind of interesting, but I didn't necessarily have a super creative
Mhm.
childhood, I
Same.
wouldn't say. Yeah.
Yep, same for me.
Yeah.
And I think, Mare, you did.
Yeah. I think
So
she
the
might
way she's
not.
like, I don't, I mean, maybe you literal,
What it
you got a
was.
music studio in your home.
Yes.
Your brother's musically inclined.
Yeah.
You are an artist. Your dad did the paintings she speaks of at the ranch house that her dad did at 11. Better than I
I
could
know.
do.
It's just crazy.
Better
It's
than
not
I could do
fair.
ever in my life.
I guess you
Yeah.
mean it was kind of a departure for your parents being a doctor and a
Yes,
nurse.
my dad
True.
was a
It's a
dentist.
departure from that
For
to
sure.
have
Also
both
so
children
free.
being a musician and then an artist. It's
Yeah.
probably a little, it feels
Yeah.
like, whoa, not unexpected.
Oh yeah, shout out to my dad because he was also very supportive, and I know it was hard for him because or not hard for him, but it wasn't necessarily the path that he saw his kids going, considering that it's a very unpredictable. I mean, I
I'm
have a
sure all of
master's in
us.
art,
Sure.
but it's,
He's
what do
a
you
little bit
do
more
with
type A,
that?
I'd
And
say.
yes, he is.
Yeah.
He is. I don't know about you, but I'm so curious to see where my kids end up.
I know.
Yes.
Being from a
Yeah.
home where there's an artist and they've witnessed it. They've watched since they were tiny babies. They've watched me. They've come into my studio when I'm in the middle of a painting, or like it's just been embedded into their upbringing. I've
Sure.
invited my daughter to do like mommy daughter paintings,
Yes.
and it's there. I cherish those. I cherish those memories with her. But also, she's left-handed like me, which is cool because it's kind of passing down that legacy that started with my mom's mom. She's left-handed, and I know she's creative, but she also has a lot of my husband's personality in her, and she's a very 3D artist. And
That's
I
cool.
never did like
Mhm.
I never did stuff like that. I was always 2D.
She'll
Of course, my
always
son, the
do
geologist,
something
but
in that realm, I
yeah,
feel like.
for
She's
sure.
always seeking
Yes.
art.
I think both of your kids
But what
Yeah.
probably
about
will.
Mhm.
and then what about Everest and Sunny,
I don't
which
know. Well, Everest
the
is
funnest
just
names ever
musically
too.
gifted. It is incredible. He can play the piano and it's like he shuts his eyes and he just is in the music. He's in the melody.
So
He
did he take
is the music.
lessons?
So even before he took lessons, he could play piano.
That's
and he plays by
amazing.
ear.
I
Oh,
always
it
wanted a
makes
kid.
me cry every
Jonathan
time.
plays
Sorry
by
to my
ear.
kids, but I always wanted my kids. They didn't. But how amazing!
So he takes piano now and he's learning
Right.
these incredible.
But,
he's
like,
like learning satie.
Oh my
and,
gosh.
He just turned 10. So I have no doubt that he will spread his wings that way. And then Sonny, he's just more of like my earth baby. He just is. He's connected to the earth. He just is so curious. He's patient.
I mean, it's just super cool. I'm excited. I always tell Mary I'm excited, and y'all, your kids too. Like I'm excited to see.
Yeah.
But also, not to say like if they don't do anything creative at all, also interesting. Like
I
I'm
know.
also
I
just
wouldn't be shocked
interested.
either
Like,
way.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yes.
Like I can see like, oh, my parents were like hippies, music all the time. I want to go into the business world.
I
Like
know.
that lifestyle's not for me.
Yeah.
Like, but I
Well, it
don't
was
know.
also very important for me. I knew this from the start when I had kids. I was never going to push art on them.
Right.
Like if it came naturally, great. And if they came in my studio and were like, I want to paint with you, or I want to do this or that creatively with you. But I was never going to try to push them in the path that I chose, because it's not an easy path for one.
Right.
But also I didn't want to take the fun out of it by like
Sure.
making them sit with me and teaching them all these things from a really young age. So I kind of wait
That's
till
good.
they come to me. And show me what they're interested in learning more about. And then that was kind of the way my mom approached it as well.
Yeah.
I am so infatuated with like talented
Yes.
like creative children and
Mhm.
like is it inherent? I think maybe I even have a question in here. I was going to talk
Yeah.
about, I
Nature
do.
versus
Is it
nurture.
cultivated or
Yeah.
inherited?
Mhm.
Because I mean, I think both probably,
Yep.
right? But
I
it's
think a
like
little combination.
the different levels, like how
Mhm.
much exposure are you
Mhm.
having to it? How much of other family members or other people you admire are doing it or, just a lot of it. And sometimes people aren't fortunate enough to explore that. All right. I want to pivot a little bit and talk about your inspiration from nature. When did you first realize that nature was something that was going to be like a central focus of your art?
It's interesting because when I first started painting, I guess I didn't actually learn to paint until the summer after my freshman year in college. I was going to be a drawing major, which is crazy because now I can't
Like, say
imagine.
what?
Now I can't
But that's
imagine
not
my
that
art
crazy.
without. But I was like, I do these very detailed renderings of wildlife, and even back
With like
then,
pencil?
like or
Mm.
Prismacolors, and they were so detailed. I mean, I would get hand cramps. It was just like really detailed. But and then I took a painting class in the summer. I was at Sam Houston. I was
Mhm.
where I was for my freshman year. And I just thought, "Oh, what have I been missing?
Mhm.
This is so fun." And it's like once
Mhm.
you learn how to do it and it's not that frustrating.
Freer? Is it like
Oh, there
imagine?
it opened up my world. But I was very drawn to the human figure. I would always like I loved the life drawing classes I was taking in college. I felt like there was so much you could say with the body
Mhm.
and just all this kind of things left unsaid and just channel that into the body and the figure and so that was my focus throughout college. I would say psychology as a huge part of all of the conceptual stuff behind my work.
Were
Once I had kids, I feel like that's when nature really started to come into play in a more direct way with my art, because I used to be oil painter and then I switched to watercolors because I had a baby that was waking up from naps all the time and I had to pull myself away from my art, and so that was
Mhm.
hard.
Snack time Picasso.
Mm.
Yes, I was just stealing moments.
Mhm.
And so changing those mediums to water based, I started to create all these layers of a painting.
Oh, that's
And that's when I
interesting because
started to, yes. And so memory and like all this like psychology stuff was woven into even my landscapes and my wildlife paintings. But uh I don't know. I think nature's always been there, but switching from figures to like landscapes and
Mhm.
wildlife,
Mhm.
that happened right around when I had kids, which is interesting. I traveled my whole life. We took vacations to beautiful places. We didn't really go to cities. We went to
Mhm.
Yosemite,
Always been a nature
Alaska.
girly.
Yes, and I was always inspired by that. And so then when my husband and I felt like we could start traveling again after having kids, I started to get really inspired by West Texas, Big Bend,
Mhm.
um, and then Palo Duro, which I took you with me there.
Yes.
And so that's when I switched to like desert landscapes and
Mhm.
stuff like that. I was just very drawn to the color palettes and all of the wonderful layers of the desert and the way you could see so far and just all the cacti. I don't know. I guess it's always been there, but that was probably the biggest shift.
And it's just so cool because nature gave us the colors. Or that was like it's
Yes. I
like a
had a
weird thing,
little
but it's
stint.
so true. It's like
Yeah.
what
Well, I started to make my own pigments. I was like obviously
Mm.
we had a lot of rocks because my kids love rocks. And so my daughter and I would crush up rocks and I was starting to make my own pigments
Cool.
to paint with.
Cool.
And so we made some paintings for my mom.
That was so
The
fun.
grant,
Very
all the
primitive
grant.
art. Yeah.
Yes. And so I've even thought about like how to incorporate more of that into my landscapes and stuff, like actually from the earth.
I love that. And it's so funny, y'all. Like I was not very earthy, like an earthy girly. Like, I mean,
What?
I mean, can you like I was like, no. But like truly meeting Mare and like probably the first time I went on a hike, first time any like, anything like that. But I really do love it and the way and she taught me about like nature as more of a religion too, and that's a whole other episode. But it's just so special and just so true that now like now I have a love of nature and this whole new like love of like a connection to the earth and grounding, and you really taught me about that. So Thank you for
It's really
that.
I love that.
Okay, Michelle, did you always think you were going to major in fashion?
I did. I knew I wanted to go to Texas State. I wanted to stay local. My sister, who's like my best friend, went to
Mhm.
UT. I wanted to be close to her. And I knew Texas State had a really good fashion program. So I
Mhm.
was like, let's do it. Let's try it out.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I wanted to do, maybe buying visual merchandising. So I ended up getting a degree in fashion merchandising
Mhm.
from Texas State. So yeah.
Like, so fashion is like selling the clothes?
No, so
I'm
that
sorry.
oh, no,
Forgive me for
no, no,
being
it's actually
like,
it's really
let us
interesting.
know.
I feel
The
like
people who don't know.
merchandising has more of like the artistic side, which
Okay,
I really
creating the
gravitated
fashion.
towards. So think about I worked at Urban Outfitters
Okay,
for a long
cool.
time on the West Coast.
It's literally the coolest job you could have.
Well, it's really cool. It's really taxing. It's a great job, but it's intense.
Mhm.
So we would do every urban has a display artist
Mhm.
and a visual merchandising coordinator. So I was the visual merchandising coordinator, which means I would do all of the window displays.
Wow.
So I would team up with a display artist and we would come up with really beautiful displays inside all the big windows. So if you go to Anthropology,
Mhm.
anything under that umbrella, they have those incredible displays.
I've seen.
So that's what we would do. So
That's
we would
amazing.
do the displays, we'd do all of the interior setups, build outs. I'd obviously have to look at the numbers. So that is the selling element and see what's selling. Okay, if this shirt's not selling, I'd have to move it to a different spot or do the mannequins and do all just kind of
And this was your job right out of
positioning.
college?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It was kind of an imposter syndrome situation.
Oh.
I got the job. I was like, what am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. And I just jumped in and it was so fun.
That's amazing. Cool. Okay, so Urban Outfitters
And then so I worked there for 4 years and I guess before that I had some other little merchandising jobs.
Mhm.
I worked at Tommy Bahama, which is so
Oh, I
random.
forgot
That was actually
about
my
that one.
first job merchandising out of school. And that was really fun, but obviously just not my aesthetic. I was like, sure, I'll take the job, anything.
I love it.
So from there, we moved to California. Then we moved back home
Mhm.
and we wanted to start a family. And that's when I started silversmithing and doing jewelry like full time
And self-taught.
basically.
So,
The whole journey for me actually started in California.
okay.
My husband and I on the weekends were big estate sailors.
That's so cool.
We love vintage shopping. We love estate sailing. And he had like a whole Etsy site and we would flip stuff
Oh
that
my
we'd
gosh.
find. And that was like our little hobby. One weekend we came across an estate sale and she was a silversmith. And so we bought all this equipment. And I think that's a big barrier of entry for a lot of silversmiths.
Right.
It's the equipment is very expensive. It's hard to get your hands on. It's heavy. It's just kind of not convenient.
Mhm.
So we bought all of it for like $1,000, all of it.
That's
And we
amazing.
thought we were going to flip it.
Mhm.
And we
Oh.
got it home. And John and I, that's my husband, we just started looking on YouTube like, hey, maybe we just keep this rolling mill and all this stuff for the bench and these dapping tools and stuff. And we just kind of started making basic rings. And he's the kind of guy that he's not going to wait for the perfect time to do anything. He's
Mhm.
just going to go for it. I want the perfect time to start something. And
Right.
if I can give one
Yes.
piece of advice, there is no perfect time. Just go for it.
Yes, so true.
Yeah, we just started learning on YouTube and then I just fell in love with it.
I love that. I want to talk about the name Iron Lamb.
Oh,
where
gosh.
it came from.
I just wanted something that kind of represented the dichotomy between like soft and hard. That sounds
No,
weird.
I totally
Not
get
hard.
it. I totally get
But
it.
it's just the life's balance. Like you need both. And
Mhm.
so the strongest thing I could think of, is iron. And then
Mhm.
one of the softest, most tender things is a lamb. So I
Yes.
just like the connection between the two.
So you mentioned imposter syndrome before I even
Oh.
brought it up. Mare, you probably never had to deal with imposter syndrome. Is that correct? Because you born and bred
Incorrect.
artist. Really?
Incorrect.
Grad school for me was my imposter
Oh.
syndrome.
I remember you calling me
It was
after
a tough
lectures and
couple
classes.
of years just because I was, aside from she was like my best grad friend. We met at orientation, and she was totally different kind of artist than me, but she was Canadian. She had just moved to San Francisco. the week prior as well. And so we were both newbies. We were the youngest two in like the whole program. Everybody else apparently took like 5 to 10 years off before they decided to go to grad school. I was very intimidated.
Right. I could see that.
And my husband and I had just moved to San Francisco, not knowing a soul out there. I hadn't ever lived with him either. We'd been dating for a year. And then I was like, hey, I got into a really good art program. I can't turn this down. So I'm going. And he was like, let's go. Let's pack our bags. And so I felt lost in general. Just I was figuring out who I was after college. And we became very close because of it. But I did feel lost. And I felt like I was just in this big sea of like all these incredible artists. And I don't know. I found myself there, but it was a little scary at times because when we'd be in these big lectures and I'd hear these other artists talking about their art, I just thought, what do I want to say? Like, I don't know yet. I felt like a newborn in a way. Like I'd had 4 years of professional teaching, but it was a whole different animal being in grad school. And so I did feel like an imposter at times. That insecurity did kind of come out in my art, but in a good, raw way. And it was a very vulnerable time for me. But yeah, imposter, you go.
Oh, girl. I can't follow that.
No. So you went from, like the fashion world to the art world, which I guess still is fashion because jewelry. So, but now you're making it. Now so do you ever feel like are you intimidated to meet any other people, or is it ever that
sure. Are you kidding? Yes. I feel like if I were to ever meet like an actual silversmith, like a Southwestern style, like Navajo silversmith, I think I'd be like, oh, I just walk away.
Right.
I don't know. That definitely would intimidate me, but I've just had a really good time putting my own spin on things. And so I don't feel quite as like at first I just was literal copycat. Like I'd find a really cool vintage ring and I'm like, I wonder if I can make that.
I think that's such an important step though of becoming an artist is copying first, replicating, and then figuring out where you want to go from there.
Yeah,
I think that's
I agree. I just was so in love with that Southwestern style, like the classic turquoise and coral. I loved what it represented, like the sky and fire. And it was just, I loved it. And so I've kind of just taken that and slowly morphed it into my own thing, but definitely felt intimidated. And now that I have a brand where I'm doing some manufacturing and I'm doing the design side and also like trying to run a business side, that to me, the business side is also where I feel like an imposter, I guess, maybe.
Yes,
I'm like,
absolutely.
I'm not a business. I'm just a person that likes to hit on metal in my studio. Like, I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, same for me. We are okay. Wait, I had one more question about seeing your art in the wild. This can be for both of you. So, like seeing it out, maybe you see it. Maybe this happens to you more, just because I don't know. People are wearing it, and you'd have to like go in someone's house to see like your art. But like, what is it like when you just see it out in someone's house and on someone? Do you feel like a sense of pride? Is it like,
oh, I totally feel a sense of pride because I feel like. Yes, I created the piece, but also I love to see people make it their own and add their own touch and their own style and their own vibe to it. And I almost don't believe it,
right?
You know, when I see it, somebody wearing every time I pick you up or we hang out, you always have it. It's just so
I'm
special.
Always drenched in Iron.
It just drips.
I mean, it's
Frost
beautiful.
yourself.
It's beautiful.
Oh yeah. What about you?
Yeah.
Well, like you said, I don't typically just run across my paintings.
Okay, well,
new friends' homes or things like that. But I will say I have an Etsy shop that's kind of just like a little side part of my business. Or when clients will send me photos or I see review photos on Etsy, or I get documentation of my work hanging in their homes after they've gotten it framed and on display. And it's the coolest feeling, just being like, oh, wow, that it comes full circle. It's
like, what about just hanging out at your best friend's house and you just look like literally every inch of your house is covered in your art? Like literally all the art I have is Meredith.
Same. I'm like,
and I love it.
It's basically like a art studio for Meredith.
That's still one of my favorite commissions I've ever done was those 2 landscapes in your kitchen because she said, I know I want two pretty abstract, expressive landscapes. And I said, well, what color palette do you want? I don't know. What styles of paintings? Like, I wanted to make sure she was going to have to look at this every day. And I wanted to make sure that she was going
Yes,
to
they're big in my
genuinely
kitchen.
love it every day and that her family would
She
love it.
trusted
So
you.
I just had to pull it out of her. I was like, okay, are you drawn to this color palette? Are you drawn to this?
Which
Are
helped
you
immensely.
drawn
I
to?
didn't even know where to begin.
And then she knew she wanted landscapes, but I wanted it to be an emotional, like I typically with my landscapes, I only paint from my own photographs because I like to pull from my memory of that place. And also,
Cool.
it's
Add
a
the experience.
fabricated thing of painting the landscape, but also pulling from my memory. I call them kind of like memory maps, memory mapping.
Yes.
But for commissions like that I want you to feel that emotional connection to it. I will research and I will scour the internet for photos of like specific that like once they land on the place they want, then I'll make sure I really have a grasp for that place if I haven't been there myself so that I can really put that emotional stuff into it. And so I asked you, I was like, well, what's one of your favorite places? And you said Emerald Bay. Is that
Lake Tahoe.
because you went every year. And so once we landed on that, I was like, okay, I can do this. Cause I'd seen your photos with you and the kids hiking that for years. And I felt like I could kind of transport myself there and create those.
You kept asking me for like specific places. And I kind of was like, no, it doesn't have to be a place. Like just make it like look like a mountain kind of.
It's
And
like you knew what you wanted, but you didn't know how to say it. So I had to like process of elimination.
But hearing you hear about your process and how you like to draw from pictures, places that you've been to because you draw from your memory and it helps you. I mean, it makes sense now. So question about babies. As moms, how do you make room or time for your art?
I noticed that it was just going to be this big shift when I was pregnant because I was so tired and I didn't have the emotional bandwidth to create. I had to I did a couple of paintings while I was pregnant with my daughter, my firstborn, but I was so tired and I need to be emotionally full. I need to be at like 100% to create work that I'm very proud of and feel really good with the end result. So I had to already shift even when I was pregnant. And then she was a pretty good sleeper right off the bat. So I'd try to sneak in paintings when she'd nap or go down early for bed. But then my son came and he didn't sleep.
He really shook
he just
things
didn't
up.
sleep. And so I had to actually just shelf my painting time for I felt like a year, I think. And then just slowly started reintroducing it when I could. But it was really hard for me to find a balance. And I struggled with that a lot because I'd get excited about a new series and I'd want to execute it. And I would be almost like frustrated with my kids, but then I'd, have to check myself and be like, I'm not getting this time back.
Right.
This is it. They're never going to be little again. So I'd have to have these like adjustments in my brain of being like, okay, don't worry about it. You've got the rest of your life to paint and to focus on it. But I didn't want to never not be a painter, not be an artist. So it was hard to try to find that balance. And I kind of got through it. And I would, like I said before, do little moments wherever I could so that I could still feel like I had that creative outlet.
And you're taught with your art that inspiration is fleeting. And so it is a time thing. And so then you're in your head about it, I'm sure. Like, if I'm not creating, someone else is going to get this idea, which I've been taught, my whole life, but I don't have the time. And so,
I'll get an idea. And then if I don't execute it in 6 months, I'm not interested in it anymore.
Right.
Even though I still thought it was a really cool idea.
We're also like, neurotic with our initial obsessions. I totally agree. Like I would get hyper obsessed with something and then I would find myself frustrated throughout the day. And the only way to like kind of mitigate that was maybe doing like small things every day so that I could at least put my mind at ease. Like if I couldn't get to the bench and actually do silversmithing, because it is kind of toxic. Like I have to make sure to wash my hands like surgically afterwards because I have tiny shards of metal or there's some acid involved and stuff like that. So if you can't get to your medium, do pivot a little bit. Like so whenever I had little babies, I pivoted to epoxy clay as like my medium. and I could do it in my kitchen.
Mhm.
It was a way to just keep the juices flowing,
Mhm.
but in a bit more contained environment. And I guess that's like my piece of advice. Like if you
That's great
can't get
advice.
out there and do what you want to do, you can oil paint, so you pivoted to watercolor,
Mhm.
don't just stop,
Mhm.
just keep the juices flowing. And even if you wake up and you're just exhausted and you're tired, maybe do an Instagram post, maybe do an email, maybe hit up like a friend for a creative lunch or something.
Mhm.
Just a little something helps.
Go to an art gallery or go to
Yeah, I feel like just doing
just
something kind of helps a little bit. That's
Mhm.
just kind of how I kept the artist train on the tracks during those
No,
like
that's
really
great.
baby years.
That's great advice. Dun 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 dun. Hot seat segment. Spirit animal.
deer.
Hummingbird.
Fight 1 giant scorpion or 10 angry raccoons.
Raccoons.
Scorpion.
What? River.
Giant.
Giant
It's a
one?
giant.
You didn't ask how big.
I don't
You didn't ask how
care.
big. River, swim, or desert hike.
River swim.
River swim.
Same. It's too hot. Most savage comment about your art from your kid. I can start. Well, mine just says, "Mom, you're not an artist." And "Mommy, artist is cringy."
Oh, the cringe.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Anyone? Can't think of any? That's okay.
Everest one time said, "Are you wearing that?"
Perfect. Perfect. Weirdest thing in your notes app.
So bad.
I have a lot of random measurements and I have no idea what they're for at this
Perfect.
point. Yeah.
I mean, I still have baby names and I'm way out. That's not weird
That's good. Brittany or Christina?
Brittany.
though. Brittany, but now Christina.
If you could collab with an artist in any field, really, who would it be?
The late Georgia O'Keeffe.
Ooh, girl, that's a good one. Adina Mills.
Nice. I don't know who that is, but sounds good.
I mean, it could be dead or alive, right?
Yes, dead or alive. Yes,
Okay.
yes. Go to cocktail when you're at a bar.
Lately, martini. Dirty
Nice.
martini.
Ranch water.
Do you believe in aliens?
Yes.
Yeah, there's something else out there.
Of course. You can't be on the show if you say
Yeah, sorry.
what's your
true.
bribe snack for your kids?
Yeah, like M&Ms, just like pop them in their mouth.
Mhm,
Just
mhm.
little-
Or those dum-dums.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lollipops.
Yep.
For sure.
Yep.
Okay, good job.
Am I supposed to be guessing? Okay.
Snack time, Picasso.
One more time.
Snack
Sex,
time,
top,
Picasso.
broad,
Sex top, broad shoulders. That's it.
broad
Okay,
shoulders.
I'm starting over. No.
Broad shoulders.
Snack,
Tack,
snack,
tack,
snack,
sack.
snack,
Nah.
snack
Nah.
time.
Wait.
Snack time.
Your mouth's freaking me out right now.
Snack time, Picasso.
Picasso? Was it Pablo Picasso?
Close. Snack time, Picasso. Snack time.
Eating.
Snack time,
Snack time.
Picasso.
Picasso?
Yes!
That's so hard.
That's so funny.
I'm terrible at reading lips.
No, you did so good. Bolo tie energy.
Polo.
Bolo tie energy.
I have no idea.
Bolo.
Makes me feel better.
Bolo.
Oh, bolo.
tie. Tie.
Bolo
Tie
tie.
energy.
And blue jeans.
Energy. Energy.
Bolo tie
Energy.
energy.
Yes, baby. Yes, baby. There's cactus in the car seat. Can you hear me?
Third tastic.
There's cactus.
There's
Cactus.
something. There's
cactus.
cats.
Cactus.
Cash cats.
There's cactus
There's cactus.
in the car seat.
And there's cactus
In the car seat.
in the
car seat.
car seat concert.
Car seat.
Car seat.
Yes! Woo! These are my fancy overalls.
These are my favorite overalls.
These are my fancy
Fancy
overalls.
overalls.
What the? Can you hear me? Stay gold, pony boy.
Pole boy?
Stay gold, pony boy. Stay gold, pony boy.
Stay gold, pony boy.
Yes, ma'am.
Stay
Okay.
gold. Round Prairie Road.
Okay, go.
Round.
Crowd.
Round.
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 Route.
Round.
Wow.
Wow.
Can I use my
Yeah,
hand?
yeah.
Round.
Round.
Prairie. Prairie.
Prairie. Brown prairie road.
Yeah! It's hard.
Pink hair.
Pierre.
Pink hair.
Big air.
Pink hair. Don't
Pig
care.
air. Go see.
Pink,
So hard.
pink
P.
hair.
Air.
Okay, let me try. Okay, ready?
B.
Hair.
Air.
Pink.
P.
Pink.
P.
Pink.
Nair. Okay, wait. Pink
Hair.
hair. Girl
Don't
chose
care.
me. The pink hair chose me.
Pink hair. Don't.
Pink hair
Don't.
shows.
Don't.
Shows. No.
Don't.
Show.
Don't.
No.
Pink
Don't
Hair knows
care.
no bounds.
Don't care.
Pink hair don't care.
You were
Oh my
hilarious.
gosh.
That was cute. Okay.
All right, besties, my glass is empty, but my cup is full, and that means it's the end of the episode. Remember that you can't have butterfly conversations with caterpillar people, and that everyone out there is trying their best. Love you. Bye. You can find the Mommy Artists podcast on YouTube to watch the full video. Give it a like, hit subscribe, and come back next week for more iconic chaos and creative magic. But no worries if not.